I kind of grew up in a split universe in that, yes, I was born in '56. I was kind of a child of the late '60s, early '70s, but where my brothers and my parents, they were embracing America and the changing times and whatever. I gravitated towards my grandparents who actually raised me because my mother became ill when I was very young. And so my memory of Philadelphia in that time period was my grandmother and her sisters and my grandfather and the row homes in Philadelphia, and everyone lived right next door to one another. And I kind of grew up in a very insulated Jewish experience of the other side, the old Eastern European traditions, whereas then there was my parents who were like going out on Saturday nights and going to the movies and bowling and things like this. I know it was very safe. Philadelphia was very safe. You would walk down the street and like you knew every single person on the street, and somebody was always trying to feed you or smack you because you walked in the street or whatever. But I mean, I could tell you a wonderful story of being a young, oh, maybe 10, and like every Saturday I would go with my grandparents to go grocery shopping, and my grandmother would go to the fish market and the meat market, and yes, it is true, the old story about the fish were alive and they would put them in the bathtub, etc. But my grandfather used to take me to, when my grandmother would go to get her hair done, on these row homes in Philadelphia, and he would hold my hand so tight because to lose me would be like such a shanda, you know? I was like so important to him. And he would hold my hand and we would go and we would walk down the sidewalk in Philadelphia to the bagel place, and he would buy one bagel and they would cut it open for him. And right next door was a Jewish deli. And we would walk to the deli, and I would stand like this, like a little girl, and I would go, "Could you please?" And they would put 2 strips of little Nova locks on it and close it. And then we'd go sit on a bench outside, and he would read the paper and smoke his pipe, and I would sit. And like, those are just like really good memories of, but I do not, and to this day, my family and my husband find it hard to believe, but I don't really feel like I was part of like the 60s and the 70s, even though that was my age group as a teenager, because I grew up more in my grandparents' world of the synagogue, and so it was very odd. My brothers and sisters kind of like, you know, they were out there. I didn't even know who Bob Dylan was till I was 40, so if that helps you.